Starting off here, northeast Queensland, area pinned on the map. Now what's interesting, look to the west of that and it looks like a giant lake basin. That once was an inland sea. And it's just quirky that the Chinese seem to be running around to all these places that are deserts now just before the rainfall starts on its multi-thousand-year cycle. So I would envision that this part of northern Queensland going to become wet again. Chinese investors back new major meatworks for northern Queensland. Incredible drought right now. And they're thinking about raising 50,000 head of cattle. And then they include this image here for fodder. Where's the groundwater come from? I'm sure you could drill it. But I'm sure they also know the cycles, that more natural rainfall from above is coming because we've seen the floods again and again and again over the last 4 years across Australia, record rains in some places. So I thought I would dig in and I found this PDF, the flood inundation areas of Findler's catchment. The yellow circle there is where the Chinese are going to have their cattle ranching. But imagine that, if it starts to rain, look where it's going to fill. And if you head out to the eastern edge of the yellow circle, it's next to a river. Imagine free water if you knew the cycle. Now you may be asking yourself, why would the Chinese be running around drought-stricken northern Queensland trying to start cattle ranches when it's dry? Well, Chinese vegetable prices hit record highs, result of persistent cold and record rains, and also the food inflation 45% this year, and it's just been nonstop. Armyworm, devastation of the corn crop, the floods. Oh yeah, let me look at the floods for you here. This is what the farm fields look like in China. Very similar to what the American farm fields look like. This much flooding, denting into any types of agricultural production. And it's been like this since mid-May. And you can see where the roads were on the left slide there. Trees visibly outline the roads. But in the periphery there, that's farmland. Levees breaking, just like we see across Arkansas, in different places down the Mississippi River, Missouri specifically, and then the inundation of the cities as well. It has been non-stop rains. What I find so interesting is that one displacement number of 19.91 million people, that was from one flood alone way back in June. So that number, in my personal opinion, is way incorrect because we're talking into July now and they're had massive floods on top of that. Atmospheric compression events, massive hail, damaging billions in property as well as people being crushed and hit.
A rapidly growing population coupled with global warming means that water is increasingly set to become the world's most precious commodity. One of the solutions to this problem can be found within clouds.
An average rain cloud contains about 8 million tons of rainwater. And therefore there's a vast quantity of untapped fresh water in the sky, and this is where cloud seeding comes in, to address the growing needs for water around the world.
Most rainmaking techniques used today originated back in 1946, when scientists discovered that by dropping particles of a chemical called silver iodide into cloud tops, they could trigger rainfall.
检测最后是真的吗？拧的，我训练。到你，其实没事啊，他往后倒就是回下手腕的。能见度和那个雷暴，咱们飞机上。
哎，你们要是经常的。 真挺好。
这抓苗绝对了，
这叫。